Hello and welcome to The Wicked Truth Part 2 or Video 2. Today I want to talk about a variety of subjects that have been coming up in my studies over the last few years. And really what it has to do with is with the state of mind. Everything that happens around you is actually interpreted and you feel it through the state of mind that you are in that particular moment. And at least what I found for myself is that I had no control over my state of mind. It would be wherever it would be. But very rarely was I totally calm in the mind. My mind was always racing about something. So how I started approaching this is meditation. And I started to read a book by Om Swami. I can't remember the name of the book right now. I think it's called A Million Thoughts. It really convinced me that meditation is something I should really look into more seriously. I used to look into it when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I got very excited about it when I read the works of Swami Vivekananda, a particular book called Raja Yoga, which was given to me by my father. And it brings me back to about a month ago or 2 months ago, when I started to really think about this more deeply. And where I kind of approach this is to think about my mind as a kind of orchestra. This analogy and this idea came up about 6 or 8 months ago when my friend Ethan Sissa, who's a really brilliant life coach. You could look him up at ethansissa.com. He's currently in Mumbai trying to make a life for himself. So if you're in Mumbai and you need some help to lose weight and to clear your mind, look up Ethan Sissa. Anyway, so I was with Ethan and we were having a walk down near my house, a morning walk, and the idea came up is our minds are a bit like an orchestra, but the orchestra, it consists of many groups of musicians. You've got your bass, you've got your violins, you've got your double basses, you've got your cymbals and your drummers and your flute players, and you can imagine this motley crew, and there's a conductor in the center. And you can imagine some of them have come in and some of them are drunk, some of them are, arguing with their spouses on the phone, or other people are surfing the internet. And the conductor is trying to get everyone synchronized to get this beautiful sound out of the orchestra. But whatever he does, the orchestra is not synchronized. They're not following, they're not in lockstep with each other. And hence you just get a cacophony. And I feel that's kind of way most of our minds are, where it's a massive cacophony. And our minds are functionally very similar to an orchestra. Obviously a little bit more complicated, but similar. We have different parts of the minds. We've got the occipital lobe, you've got the parietal lobes, you've got the frontal lobes, you've got the brain stems, and within them you've all these various different types of nuclei, like the nuclei accumbens, and you've got the hippocampus and the hypothalamus, and you've got a lot of things going inside, little functional units inside your brain. And as a normal course of action, they're not highly synchronized. And what we're trying to do with meditation, at least the way I look at it, is we're trying to calm the mind down and control each of these circuits in your brain until they're synchronized. And then, this is the point I think most meditation kind of stops right there, but I think then you want to ramp it up so that you are playing the music that you want to play. Into a house So I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can practically get into meditation. So I have two phones and I'm recording on my iPhone. So the apps I'm showing you are available, I believe, on both systems, especially the one I use mainly, which is Insight Timer. The icon looks like this, and oh, there we are. Um, it's called Insight Timer, but this relaxed meditation and relaxed melodies are pretty good too. Above that, you have um, apps made by Brainwave, and they emit like different kind of binaural beats, and I use that sometimes. But really, what I use is Insight Timer, and you can really tailor it to exactly what you want to do. And it even has a little kind of social media kind of function. So if you join, you can become friends with me, and we can meditate together. So essentially, when you load into the app, you'll get this front screen. It has a little map showing you dots of all the places and where people are meditating right now, and you'll see uh, like a stream of what other people have meditated to and what they thought about it, and then you can choose that those meditations, which I find really quite interesting and quite helpful, because it's like having a community of people meditating together, and they kind of, we can guide each other. So this, when you click the icon that looks like headphones, you get a choice of, like, whether you want to do the popular ones, you want guided meditations, you want music. You've even got like teachers and talks. So you could choose like a guided meditation, and then when you get in, it's really interesting because you can choose the amount of time that you want to meditate. So I started with the shortest one, and now I'm kind of moving into the 20 to 30 minutes and the 30 plus minutes. But you've got everything. You can meditate, and these are all guided. So that it's really, it takes the boredom out of the meditation, and you can actually start achieving things within the meditation. So I really do recommend this app. I'm not affiliated them in any way. I'm not getting any advertising. I wish I was, but I'm not. So you've got you got performance, relationships, happiness, sleep. I use the sleep ones, quite often now, actually, and just pop them on and just go to sleep. As you get also a little bit more advanced, you get this option where literally you can have bells on timers ringing every 5 or 10 minutes, and you can set meditation to a particular amount of time, and perhaps I can even show this to you if it's not on my headphones. Let me make sure. Yes, it is. Let me take it off, and you can have some kind of ambient sound in the back. So let's say I wanted this rocks one, or have the guitar, and I just press start. And I usually do this with headphones on. And you just calm right down into your meditation, which is brilliant. Finish early. Done, thank you. Finish. Then the other nice thing you have about this is the social media kind of function. So there you can find me as Vidyut Kini, become a friend with me on there. It tells you how many consecutive days I've used the app. I've been meditating every day, but I'm using different apps sometimes, and this app doesn't know about it. But anyway, we're not like measurement freaks. But it tells you, you can see that I've been, meditating an average of 40 minutes per day, and which days I've been meditating on the app. So if you're a bit of a data freak, that can work out for you quite nicely. So that's this particular app I wanted to show you, but the other ones are pretty good too. The relaxed meditation, which I can't actually show you right now because I'm recording on the iPhone, but that might be worth it. That one costs a little bit of money. I think the Insight one's free. So have a look at that. And then just one last point about, often, I used to struggle about, you'd sit down, you'd start meditating, and your mind starts going on about, what the hell are you doing? This is boring as crap. and you're achieving nothing, and you'll get all these kind of negative emotions, especially when you just start, because we're all busy, and we want to get stuff done. We got emails to check and work to do and friends to call and children and wives and girlfriends or whatever it is, and podcasts to listen to. And the idea of sitting even 5 or 10 or minutes or 40 minutes doing nothing is a very hard sell, which is I think why a lot of people don't do it. I've got an analogy here that I think kind of what made it sink in. I decided to go on a cycling vacation in Scotland, and I went up by myself, and it was a kind of like a cycling tour over 7 days where they gave you the bikes, and you'd have all your clothes with you, and you'd load it onto the bike, and you'd cycle all day up and down the countryside of Scotland. And in the evenings you'd reach a brewery, and you'd do a little tour of the brewery, drink a bit of whiskey after cycling 30 miles or more up and down mountains, and you'd have a good sleep in the night, and you'd continue to do that, and you'd see a particular area. I saw the Spey River in that area by Inverness and down to Aviemore, and I got really fit over that 7 days. What happened is I went down to visit my cousin in Nottingham directly after that trip, and I'd just been cycling all day, every day for 7 days. And the next day when I was at a house there, I decided to go for a run, but I was so fit at the time, running for an hour was just like a breeze. And what I realized is after the hour, I may have been running for about an hour and a half, but a little bit after the hour, my mind just went into pure chill, and I got this kind of euphoria. I think it's called runner's euphoria. Your endorphins are just pumping through, and the feeling is truly amazing. And I think that's why runners are so crazy about running, and everyone else of us who looks at these crazy people running just wonders why. The point is, you need to get above a certain barrier before you realize the benefits. And I got the same the feelings repeatedly when I used to train for my marathon. I did a London Marathon in 2006, and I used to get this feeling repeatedly when I trained. The same thing happens with the meditation. When you're first starting it with your 5 to 10 minutes, it feels like nothing's happening, but what's actually happening is you're just getting your fitness, your kind of mental meditation fitness up. And I find like now at about the 20-minute mark of my meditation, I can enter into this zone where your mind, your whole body seems to it get elated. There's no other, there's very little in the English language I feel that can really describe the feeling. It's a state of being that which is what I was trying to describe earlier. You reach these states of being, and then after the meditation, that state of being stays with you for longer and longer. Now, I haven't been doing this for so long, so it's an open experiment of where I can take this. And that state of mind that you're in, this wondrous state of mind where your whole mind is synchronized and working towards exactly what you want, is what brings joy in life, is what brings you productivity, is what brings ultimately a very, the good life, as Socrates used to call it, the examined life, whatever you're interested in, whatever it may be, having this state of mind allows you to achieve whatever you want in that realm. So there's a few variations to this that I'm also trying to explore at the moment, and as I go further into it, I will try to report. That is using music as a meditation, and using other forms of dance and yoga as meditations. This is nothing new. People have been doing it for centuries, but this is my exploration of it, and I would love to report back anything I find. I think it would be wonderful if you guys can join me on this movement of meditation, and we can discuss it And please put your comments down and make your own videos, whatever it is. But let's spread the love in the universe, and take care.